This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
You all ready for this? Dun 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 dun.
No. Y'all, just stop. This is a sham. Welcome to DBL. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Yes.
Hey.
Hi. Hello, Professor.
I know. Happy Blazer Day.
Let me be honest. I spilled tanner on myself, so I have to wear this, and someone said I look like an orientation leader.
Yeah.
So everyone get your folders out. We're going to get started.
People are going to watch this and think we're on Zoom.
You look like a sub that takes her job serious.
Yes.
Totally.
I mean business.
My name's Miss Schulman.
Yeah.
This isn't a day off, kid.
Yeah, this isn't goofing around. By the way, when I taught, my kids used to tear my subs up, bro.
Yeah, bad.
And then how the subs, did they tell you about it the next day?
Yes, of course. It's like your fifth
Substitute
period.
teaching is
That's all I would
hard.
say, your fifth period. Just not even a complete sentence, and I know what they were talking about.
I kind of do too. All right. Amber Heard is back on the stand today. She's facing cross-examination by Johnny Depp's legal team yesterday. Amber addressed the infamous excrement incident, otherwise known as IEI, from February 2016, where Johnny claims she left something very gross in her bed. Amber said it was the dog, wasn't me. Take a look.
It was Shaggy.
She had eaten Johnny's weed when she was a puppy and had bowel control issues for her entire life, among some other issues. Boo, having the issues she had, we have to leave her in bed so that she wouldn't be encouraged to go to the bathroom, which would happen almost immediately once you put her down on the floor. And sometimes it happened in bed too.
We'll talk about that later. Johnny's lawyer also showed the jury a clip from Amber's appearance on the James Corden show in 2015, a day after she claims Johnny headbutted her and tried to suffocate her with a pillow. Amber claims she had 2 black eyes and what she thought was a broken nose, and that her makeup team had to work around the clock to conceal her wounds and everything else. I don't. You want to jump in here, Erica?
I think we need a professional expert. Jure, if I got headbutted and I had something, is he in here? Yeah. Could you fix it?
Could it look like that, Jure?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh, you think you'd be able to conceal all that a headbutt?
You could, if given the amount of money that they have, especially they can hire great artists if needed.
Okay, so he's saying, so he doesn't have a microphone, but he's saying technically you could, given the amount of money that she has and in the time that they put in, is what Jure is saying.
Yes.
So it could be done. So there you go.
That's why we asked the experts.
There you go. Thank you, Jure.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think we can ask this expert down here.
All right.
I don't know, Jeff. I saw something I didn't like.
What was it?
And I'll tell you, and Tori, I said it as it happened. If we rerun the clip again, when they ask about the dog, they ask her a specific question and she looks up in the air before she answers. And I always say people make a weird thing with their eyes. Watch her eyes. She'll look up.
And had bowel control issues for
Right
her
there.
entire
That
life,
little,
among
like,
some other
she's
issues.
thinking about what
Boo,
to say. And when something really
having the
does
issues she
happen,
had, we have
you
to
don't need to think. She's quick at thinking, but that's
to
not
go
the
to
way
the
people talk
bathroom,
about. If you were talking about
which would
Josie,
happen
you would
almost
never say to me,
immediately
Tori,
once you put her down on
oh,
the
she
floor.
has this condition. You know everything that's
about
going
it.
on with your dog. And you as a dog expert know that a lot of dogs do not jump in the bed to use the bathroom. That is a decision for a dog to do.
That's a dominant choice.
It's very rare for a dog to do.
Yes, and also if you have a dog with bowel problems, you don't necessarily I would never hear of putting them on the bed.
Anywhere but the bed.
Yeah, you would put them away from the bed.
Yeah.
So none of that makes like actual sense. And the way this is going, again, just my point of view is none of this is adding up. None of this is working. And from what I saw when she found out she never gave any of that $7 million that she promised, half to the ACLU and half to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, she said on the stand, I did pledge it. And they said, but did you donate any money? And she said, no. I really think this is going to go really good for Johnny Depp and really bad for Amber Heard. Now, I hope it doesn't take away from other abuse victims, but to me, this is a circus that stands out on its own toxicity. And again, I call it a tire fire, and not every sexual abuse survivor is in this tire fire that's so public.
Most are not.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you brought that up, because I think that a lot of people are struggling, myself included, because I want to be like, I believe women.
Yeah, right.
But do I necessarily believe this woman?
Right.
Mm-hmm. And I think those are two different questions. There are two different thoughts that can coexist. I'm struggling with this because she doesn't come across as someone who's being genuine in what she's saying. And I don't think that anybody should have their entire lives interrupted for some vendetta if that's what it is. Again, I believe women.
Agreed.
I don't know if I necessarily believe this woman.
And see, I just, with that whole, and this is, hopefully this will alleviate some of the angst that you're feeling, Erica, with the whole believe all women. Well, we didn't say that with Emmett Till. You know, there's a reason that you cannot believe all women. It's because women are human beings. Men are human beings. No matter what gender, how you identify, you're a human being. That means you're capable of very good and very bad. And to take away the idea that there is a woman on this planet that is capable of lying takes away their humanity. So I like to be able to look at a woman and say, you know what, I don't believe that you're telling the truth because I look at you as an equal. I don't look at you as some goddess, and I don't look at you as something that's beneath me. You are a human being capable of both.
Yeah, but if she is taking advantage, and to take a movement and take advantage of that and then try to be the face of that movement.
Yeah, me too.
That's where it like starts to get ugly for me.
Jeff, I swear when you said movement, I didn't know where you were going, and I was like, oh.
Well, it's been a complicated day.
You thought I was going to go with the bowel.
Yes.
All right. We could say that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I just did. All right, let's switch gears and get off the toilet.
All right, the bed.
A lot of people are talking about the new Sports Illustrated swimsuit cover. The magazine put out 4 different covers that quote celebrated a range of, I should have read this story before I got here, of backgrounds and body types. Singer Sierra graced one of the covers in a leopard print bathing suit.
Hello, Denver new native, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Tori's new friend.
She is going to be my friend.
Hi, I'm Tori. This is my sports coat. Elon Musk's mom, May, became the oldest cover model at age 74. Plus-size model Yumi Nu is also featured, but it's Kim Kardashian's cover that is creating all the controversy. Some people thought the reality star was a bad choice since she used photo filters and promotes an unrealistic body image.
So does Sports Illustrated.
What do you mean?
That's the whole magazine, the swimsuit edition. It's always been until...
But not Sports Illustrated itself. They don't...
No, but I mean the swimsuit edition, until recently when we all got woke, which again, I love, it has been about photo filtering and looking perfect. And until recently that conversation has opened up, they were like that was a main publication that did alter and Photoshop and do all that stuff. So I don't think you can blame Kim Kardashian for that.
It's interesting that
She's part of it, you know?
So opened up, Tori, because the conversation about not shaming people seems to have closed. Because what happened to the fact that Kim thinks she looks beautiful with filters, she looks beautiful with enhancements or fillers or whatever she's had done? Why is it now only natural beauty is the only way to go? I thought we were all allowed to find our own sense of what beauty is and try and exemplify that. So I don't understand why now there's hate towards Kim when she's just expressing what she thinks looks beautiful. I don't understand.
Are they saying this particular cover is photoshopped, or are they saying her
filters.
Instagram and things like that?
I don't know 100%, but I assume they're saying she uses
It's
filters.
hard to get behind arguments sometimes because I don't even know what people are mad about. You know what I mean? I'm trying to think of what she looks fantastic to me. I don't know if she's using a filter or not.
And it's her own, like, I think it's great that she has her swimsuit line. That's a business, that's an entrepreneur. I have no issue with this.
Yeah, but does she have to be a business, Erica? I think she looks fine. Or great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously she looks great.
Yeah, but it seems like she's getting backlash. That's what I'm saying.
Well, that's the nature of being Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. All right.
Hey, we're done.
Yeah, well, let's move on. Victoria Beckham has something to say about body types. According to her, being skinny is so last season. Well, that was a quote. She said, Grazie magazine, that She told Grazie magazine that wanting to be really thin is an old-fashioned attitude because modern women want a more curvy figure. The magazine called her out for being thin herself, but she said it's not about being a certain size, it's about knowing who you are and being happy with that. She also said that she's lifting weights in hopes of getting a bigger bottom.
Good for her. You know, I think what's really out, because I don't understand why when one thing is actually appreciated for the first time in the history of ever, then something else has to be out. So I think what's really out is self-deprecation, especially when it's rooted in some fallacy of an idea that you've told yourself and you're making a joke about it in order to fit in better. Because at the end of the day, if people could just get really real about truly just accepting who they are and figuring out the best way to live your life, I think everybody would be a little bit happier, especially when it comes to like image and body image and stuff like that. It's like, you know, I really struggle to figure out a way to fit my clothes, to make my clothes fit my frame, because I've been a size 0 to a size 12. Like, sometimes I don't know, but getting real about that really helped me. So that's just that's my TED Talk. Welcome to my TED Talk.
I like it. Coming up on DBL, a bride gets a wedding redo with her husband more than 20 years later after losing more than 100 pounds. You don't want to miss her inspirational story. And Stephanie Jones hits the red carpet to talk with Kate Bosworth about her new modern-day Western. Coming up.
Closed captioning provided by
Daily Blast Live is always timely, always focused, always ready, always on cue. This May, don't miss a day. DBL is all new every day.
Tori, I wanted to get your thoughts on her saying that Thin was so last season.
Well, here's the problem. In the 90s, which Posh Spice kind of came up in the 2000s, being that waif-thin Kate Moss look was like super in. Like that almost like sickly thin. Remember the Calvin Klein ads? I was gonna say heroin chic. I didn't know if I could.
Heroin chic or
yeah,
chic?
Heroin chic. You almost look like a Fiona Apple, that really wafy thin look, right? And Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham, fit into that realm because she was like really wafy thin. And now what she's saying is like the curviness is back. But what's interesting, if Sam were on this panel, Sam, our co-host, she's super thin in a great way. She's saying, don't thin shame me. Both are in.
That's what I felt
Both
like that
should
comment
be in.
was.
I thought so too.
I understand that there's an idea that you want to be with the public consciousness moving forward and being progressive.
But don't put down the other people.
Yeah, you're like a lot of people are just naturally thin.
Yeah. You shouldn't put down
and
the
also,
others.
have we lost the battle in that we're just the fact that we're still talking about women's bodies?
Right, exactly.
Like men do not have to explain this at all. Like Ben Stiller never has to talk about how he's thin.
I know.
It's
But it is also a fashion thing.
Yeah, it's almost like what goes in and out,
body
right?
type
Like right now,
changes
In
with
the 70s, all eras have these fashion types that seem to be appealing.
Because wouldn't Marilyn Monroe be considered a plus size model now?
Yeah, she was a size 10. Most people say 10, but she had.
Definitely that curvy thing was huge in the 50s.
Mae West, was she one?
And then in the 60s, it went to like Twiggy.
Right, and then 70s, it was real hippie, long, sort of stringy, and then the 80s, I don't know what happened in the 80s.
Yeah.
But the 90s,
I think it's called season 1 of Narcos.
Yeah, I think a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
I think a lot of cocaine.
Welcome back. Denver rolled out the red carpet for Hollywood last week, and our very own Stephanie Jones was there to talk to the celebs. Let's take a look.
Hey everyone, I am here at Season 8 of Series Fest in Denver, and I am so excited. I'm going to be interviewing some major celebrities and producers of some epic TV shows that you're all going to be watching very soon. So let's go check it out. Guys, I'm about to interview Kate Bosworth about her new modern Western TV show that's coming out. I mean, like, how cool is that? Let's go. Are you wearing Tom Ford heels?
No, they're Lanvin, actually.
They are
very tall, and they have a knocker. So I sound like a horse, like.
Very apt.
You can hear me. You know when I'm coming.
I love it. I know growing up you rode horses, and this is a Western, so we get to see you in the saddle.
Yeah.
Did you do your own stunts?
Well, yeah, because I've ridden since I was about 5 years old. There's a whole episode on horseback, and I came like galloping out of the bushes, like across the plains of Montana.
But you also play a female assassin, which must have been so much fun.
You know, the character is very mysterious. She's sort of this like angel of death, but sort of set in the Western genre.
I'm dying to see your fashion in this. I've heard all about your hat. It looks like Zorro. Very cool.
Yeah, that's the sort of noir edge. But it was funny because the hat is quite large. I was like needing to really understand spatially what was going on because I'd like bump into a doorway and be like, let me retake that.
Fashion and murder clearly don't always mix.
Yeah.
Well, Kate, thank you so much.
You're so nice to speak with you.
I won't be hearing any yeehaws.
No, not from her.
Our next guest, Kay Malbell, his new documentary is all about Cosby. Very serious, highly controversial, and we're going to find out just what it's all about.
Spanish Fly, the girl with drinking and hello America.
Thank you so much for chatting with me. I'm excited.
What else would I do other than chat to you?
I love that. Thanks. All right, so we're here obviously because you've got your documentary, and Cosby is like, let's be honest, it's a heated subject. It's controversial. It's upsetting for a lot of people.
How do we talk about Bill Cosby?
It's complex come out, you know.
So when people sit and watch this at home, right, what do you want the conversation to be around the dinner table or when they're sat on the sofa watching it?
It's really hopefully about starting a conversation that we haven't had around these issues, and hopefully it's a call to action to start how do we prevent this kind of behavior in the future, specifically in show business. But also as a black man, I had something to say about that and had certain feelings about that as someone who grew up in Bill Cosby's America.
We thought we knew Cosby. We never knew Cosby.
That wraps tonight up. I mean, how cool is this to have it in the mile-high city that is Denver? Loved it. Guys, I'll see you all soon.
Great job, Steph. Coming up on DBL, a bride's amazing transformation. Oh, just keep going, huh? Just so she could fit into a dress of her dreams. Listen, check it out. She lost 100 pounds. Come back.
If you've got skin.
Take posts like this, saying social media companies, quote, have their hands dirtied in blood. Another user asked, quote, how is it a question whether social media companies have a role to play in minimizing hate and extremism? So let's verify, what are the policies on hate speech for some of the biggest social media platforms? Our sources are a duo of experts on extremism and radicalization. We also read through the hate speech policies of 6 major platforms. Let's start with Twitch. The Buffalo shooter used this platform to livestream the horrific attack. On their website, Twitch writes that the company, quote, prioritizes minimizing harm to our users over our users' freedom of expression, writing that they prohibit behavior, quote, motivated by hatred, prejudice, or intolerance. That could be a post calling for violence, a hateful image like a swastika, or a post which dehumanizes or makes another community out to be inferior. We read through the guidelines for other well-known platforms like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit, and found similar policies.
We have seen that they are struggling over the last few years to deal with it just because of the sheer amount of hate that's on there. But in general, they do try and address these problems.
But our experts say there's far less moderation on many less mainstream platforms which are out there.
4chan, the Chans, and other types of unregulated chat programs like Telegram or Gab. These sorts of things, although they aren't, evil in and of themselves, a lot of people use them for completely benign purposes. The fact that they are, in some cases, encrypted, in some cases, completely unmoderated, it can make it the Wild West for individuals who want to find this kind of material on those spaces.
Our experts say that all this matters because content online can quickly turn into action offline.
A lone actor will often take up an ideology and then act on behalf of that ideology without even engaging with any other individuals in the group offline.
Like so many people, Christina Jordan has always struggled with her weight. And at her wedding in 2001, she weighed over 100 pounds more than her husband and dealt with tons of health problems. Well, 134 pounds and 20 dress sizes later, Christina renewed her vows in the dress and body of her dreams. Earlier, we spoke with Christina about her inspiring story.
Certified master nutritionist and author, welcome, Christina.
Thank you.
Master nutritionist.
Yeah. I love that title.
Where are you going with
That's a great, just your business card. Who are you? I'm a master nutritionist. All right, so
well,
when did you?
Technically, I'm board certified master nutritionist. So if you want to get fancy.
You're going to need business cards like this big to write all that on it. All right.
I know.
So when did you first realize that your weight was an issue? Let's start at the beginning.
Well, I've suffered with weight issues my entire life. I was always the biggest kid in the class. I definitely noticed that my weight was different than the other kids growing up in the 90s where thin was in. So for me, I was teased constantly. I was, called names, mocked, teased. Even a boy in high school did a fake invite to a party and to a dance and then didn't show. And he said he didn't date fat chicks. And so for me, I was teased. I was bullied my whole life and even into adulthood. So it's definitely been a part of my life, my whole life.
I worked in bridal, so I totally know what you mean, for 2 years, and I loved it. But most women that come in, they have their planned wedding dresses since they were like little girls.
Right.
It's not always the same for someone who's curvy, because I remember this. What was dress shopping for you when you got married 20 years ago? What was it like?
Right. Well, there wasn't a lot of options. 170 pounds at the time. So for me, I maybe had 4 or 5 dresses to choose from, and it didn't matter really what I wanted at that point. It was what would zip up. It was what would fit. And so I chose that dress based on, did it fit? Could I get it zipped up? And it wasn't my dream dress, but at least I was marrying my dream man. So I guess that works. So
Total plus.
For me, I just picked what would work.
Yeah, which doesn't feel very fairy tale.
It was a bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not. And unfortunately, it is what it is back then. And I'm so thankful there's a lot more choices now.
Well, I mean, you made the smart choice. You went back to school and became a nutritionist, and you killed it. Master nutritionist.
Master nutritionist.
That's right. And you lost 130 pounds. So you need to tell us how you did it. Like, that's amazing.
Yes, I did. I went back to school because nobody could figure me out. I literally saw dozens of doctors. I hired personal trainers. I hired personal chefs. In fact, my personal trainer fired me. She thought I was cheating on her with McDonald's. I wasn't. But I was one of those people that was doing everything right, textbook, but nothing was working. And so if nothing's working, I was literally ready to give up hope. I was so stressed, so unhappy with the fact that I'm literally fasting, counting calories, starving, working out 3 hours a day, and I'm gaining weight.
Wow.
So for me, I decided if these experts couldn't figure me out, then I'll go become an expert. So I enlisted in naturopathic medical school to become a nutritionist over 100 pounds overweight. And it was definitely, I had to get over fear. I had to get over myself. I had to get over the stigma that, in order to be a nutritionist, I had to be perfect. It's kind of like thinking you have to be perfect to go to the gym. But you don't. You can just start.
And listen, before we run out of time, I just want you to speak about your 20th wedding anniversary. You decided to renew your vows and wear the dress of your dreams that you didn't get to wear in 2001. And I love that you speak about the health aspect. So when I ask you, what does that feel like? Of course you look beautiful, but you must feel great.
I'm a new person, and I really think this dress represented the new person I've become. Because it definitely was form-fitting, it's curvy, it had a butterfly train, and I feel that really represented my journey that I've gone through of completely transforming my life, and not just my weight, my life. My life is transformed, and now I get to help others, and that's the real blessing.
A butterfly train, the transformation, that's absolutely beautiful. Christina, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your incredible journey to health. If you want to check out more about Christina's company, go to fitbodyweightloss.com. You can also buy her book, Half My Size, wherever books are sold. Congratulations, Christina. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
We've heard the campaigns to save the bees, and that's because they're the backbone of our ecosystem. Bees and other insects like butterflies help pollinate and keep our plants alive and blooming every single year. So what can we do to support local pollinators? We brought in the experts to verify. Natasha Garcia Anderson, wildlife biologist with the DC Department of Energy and Environment, and Keith Tigner, Virginia's state apiarist or bee expert. They say it's about going back to basics. Plant native. When you pick out trees or flowers or bushes, planting things native to your area will make you a bee's best friend.
If you're this big, a plot, like a tiny yard, could be your whole world. And if it's full of just grass that does nothing for you, it's not going to help you. If there's stuff for you to forage on, if there's place for you to live in, We always say native plants for native pollinators.
Now, we typically think of honeybees right away, but Keith says tons of little guys benefit from native plants.
We have several hundred bee species in the mid-Atlantic area. Having pollinating sources, pollen-producing plants, that helps all of our pollinators, and not just our bees, but the butterflies and other insects that take advantage of that food source.
And if you need any more convincing, Natasha says it's just easier to care for native plants.
They kind of take care of themselves. Like, you don't need to invest in a whole bunch of pesticides to keep them looking great, because this is where they're from and this is what they're used to.
You can find something beautiful and local and native, and I can attest this one came from my balcony, and it is easier to take care of. We have a list of native plants wherever you are in the DMV on our website, WUSA9.com, and when in doubt, just ask someone who works at your local nursery for some help and take a look at the label. They're often labeled as being native to your area. With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
New Profile Pic's founder, Richter Sazin, was born in Russia, and the company has some offices in Russia. A spokesperson for Line Rock Investment Ltd., which developed New Profile Pic, confirmed in an email to Verify that the company currently has offices in Russia, Ukraine, and Belarus. We can also verify that the new profilepic.com domain was originally registered in Russia. Using Whois, a public domain database that houses information collected when someone registers for a domain name, Verify was able to track the change to May 11th. On the left is a screenshot of the website's archival data from around 8 a.m. that day. It shows the domain was registered to a Moscow-based address. But when we checked again around 8:30 p.m., the registered address for newprofilepic.com was changed to Florida, which you can see on the right. A spokesperson for the app confirmed that the change was made in response to viral claims about the app's ties to Russia. And finally, we can verify that New Profile Pic's data privacy policy isn't particularly unique. According to the company's privacy policy, the app collects, quote, your name, email address, username, social network information, and other information you provide when you register, set up an account, contact us by email, or use our services, unquote. We compared their privacy policy to Pixar, TikTok, and Facebook, and they're all pretty similar. Jake Moore, a cybersecurity advisor with European cybersecurity company ESET, told Verify via email that people should be mindful of what permissions they give to new applications. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Till.
Welcome back. We could all use more exercise, but just getting to the gym can feel like a workout in itself. That's today's Focus on Fitness, presented by QB. There are a few tips and tricks to teach your brain to genuinely love a good workout. First, make going to the gym an easy decision by leaving your sneakers at the door. Okay. Next, indulge in something you really love during your workout, like streaming your favorite show.
Or eating French fries.
Or a podcast. I like that. Also, make it a social event. Invite a friend. And finally, be flexible. It's okay if you miss a workout. Just be kind to yourself and try to make it next time. Says me never. QB is a great way to get some quick exercise regardless of physical ability or age. Try their under-desk elliptical at home. Call 1-800-556-2089 or visit QB.com to learn more.
Accountability partners are it. Find a friend to work out with.
When I miss a workout, I go in the mirror, I'm like, you make me sick.
That's his partner.
Yeah, do not do what I do. Listen to QB. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
I will not be a good workout partner for you. Okay. We'll see you tomorrow.